Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jimbo, and today we have a super cool episode, and I mentioned it kind of in the intro with the person, as you've probably seen from the title. It's Jason Otterness with Chicago Auto Pros, and honestly, we've been trying to connect forever. My schedule has been crazy, and we haven't been able to connect, so I'm super pumped that we actually got to do this episode. It's 45 minutes of just awesome content. Jason was able to just deliver. I told him after, I'm like, man, you just delivered such clear and concise. Just how you told your story was amazing. And so it's jam-packed of super valuable content. Jason's also started this thing called Car Guy Supplies, carguysupplies.com. You definitely want to check that out. And it's a way for... We get into it in the episode towards the end, but if you're a detailer kind of looking for a little side hustle, he has this thing called Car Guys Credit where you can make essentially 8% on referring people affiliate links over to carguysupply.com. So he's really trying to give back, and I'm going to do a couple ad rolls for him in future podcast episodes to try to explain that a little bit more. But let's get right into this episode after I tell you that it's brought to you by autofiber.com, autofiber.ca and autofiber.com.au. The Jimbo Sack, the Jimbo Kit, premium microfiber towels, applicators, Towel of the Month Club can all be found at autofiber.com. And if you use code Jimbo, it's going to save you 20%. There's free shipping over 60. It is basically the best place that you can currently buy microfiber towels and or accessories. He also has some liquids on there as well. And also by housecallpro.com. You know, I've been approached recently by a couple other CRM softwares, and they just don't match the versatility and the features of housecallpro.com. If you want to get your first month for $19 and see a whole host of options that Housecall Pro offers, you can go to housecallpro.com/ADP. And I have a little competition with myself. They have tiers of how many people you sign up, and I'm almost at the highest tier possible. And I have a little competition. You don't have to sign up. All you have to do is go to housecallpro.com/ADP and sign up to do their demo, I guess it is. But I'm like, I don't know, 5 away from hitting the top tier. And so if you haven't done that, I would greatly appreciate just going to housecallpro.com/ADP. Just kind of a selfish thing, competition with myself that I just want to hit that highest tier. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this phenomenal episode with Jason. Again, Jason, thanks so much for doing this episode. It's one for the books. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host. Super excited for this one. This one has actually been many months in the making, basically because I couldn't figure out my schedule. So I'm excited to have Jason Otterness, probably someone who you're actually familiar with. Hopefully you are. He runs Chicago Auto Pros, a great YouTube channel, and Car Guy Supplies. Jason, welcome to the Auto Detailing Podcast.
Thank you, brother. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, Jim.
And you have a podcast too, right? Or no?
Yeah, Business of Detailing podcast.
So, fair warning to everyone who's listening, 2 guys who do podcasts may make for an extremely long episode, but that's okay. Better than an extremely short episode.
That's right.
So, Jason, tell us about your journey into detailing. How long have you been doing it? Tell us about Chicago Auto Pros, what you guys do, obviously your YouTube channel. Talk about how that came in and kind of all the things.
Yeah, okay. I started detailing, I think it's been 16 years now. And it was kind of funny. I worked at a car wash. I wasn't really into car washer detailing. I wasn't really into cars for that matter when I was 20 years old. But I worked at this car wash, got the job from a buddy. And I was a sales guy there. So I would, people would drive up and I would, explain the different options they have before they go into the car wash. And eventually I had a couple friends ask me, hey, can you detail my car? Can you do this? And I had a manager who was nice enough to let me actually detail the cars after hours. And while I was detailing one of the cars, I had this great idea that popped in my head. I'm like, I could do this at people's work. I could go to their houses. I can go to their homes. I can do all this stuff. I can do it mobile. And I literally thought I invented mobile detailing right there and then. And to find out I didn't invent it, but it was still a great idea. I couldn't get it out of my head. My wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, I told her about it, and I remember just, for like 3 days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to pursue it. And that's what I did. I was working two or three jobs at the same time. So I talked to a bunch of friends and a bunch of coworkers, and I really didn't have any money at the time. So I got them to give me $100 each, prepay for a full detail. And I got like 20 people.
Great idea.
So I had like $2,000 to spend to go buy. I went and got a van. I think it was like 28% interest on the van I got. It was crazy. And then, I got everything I need. I went to Walmart. I got a vacuum. I got a cheap shampooer, and I got the chemicals, and I was off and running. And that was it, man. And I've been doing it ever since. I started in Atlanta, Georgia. My wife, who I met down there, was from Illinois. So eventually we had kids and decided to move up to Illinois. And that was a tough transition because, I had to stop doing that business. And I kind of just jumped around a little bit. I started a detail shop in an underground parking garage here in Chicago. That was a definite challenge, being underground in a parking garage. So there's a lot of challenges with that. I ended up managing a couple body shops, a car wash. I helped another company start a detail shop, and then I was managing a car wash when I met my now business partner, Greg, and we started Chicago Auto Pros in 2012.
Talk about that. That was phenomenal. I feel like you've maybe told that story before. Anyway, tell us. No, it was good. I love it. A lot of valuable stuff. But I want to kind of hone into when you had to move. So how long were you in Atlanta with this mobile detailing business before you guys moved up to Chicago?
I lived in Atlanta for 7 years, but I had the business for just about 4 years.
Got it. So you were up and humming.
Oh yeah. So I started that business in 2004, I think, and it stopped right when 2008 hit. I mean, I did lose a lot of customers when that recession hit in 2008.
Got it.
So it was kind of good timing.
And how did you meet your now business partner?
I was managing a car wash, and he's always wanted to be in the car wash or detailing business. So he comes from a background. He did a lot of websites and a technical background, and he's always loved detailing and car washing. So we actually started working for a company selling chemicals called Zep. You've probably heard of them.
Yep.
And so he came into the car wash one day and wanted to sell me chemicals because I was a manager there, and we hit it off. I mean, it was literally, we tell everybody it was love at first sight because we sat down, we talked for almost 2 hours.
Wow.
And I think within like a month and a half or 2 months, like we were business partners, and we had this solid plan of detail shop opening.
Wow, that's incredible. And I think, a lot of people want to have a partner or are looking for that partner. So is there any kind of where you weren't even, it sounds like you weren't really necessarily looking for a partner to start a shop. It just kind of fell in your lap. But knowing what you know now about having a partner, what kind of advice would you give to, say, a detailer who's looking to get a partner, whether for financial reasons or just expertise, or is there any kind of like nuggets that you didn't know that you wish you knew that, I'm sure it's been mainly rainbows and unicorns, but I'm sure there probably has been sometimes that it hasn't been either. So is there any kind of advice that you would give to someone? Yeah,
there's a ton, and partners can be scary. I mean, I know that. And it's funny too, I was actually looking for a partner because I've had a couple businesses previous, and I knew that I wanted somebody else to help me with this. So finding the partners, that's the hardest part, finding somebody that you can collaborate with. I mean, because you are getting into a marriage with this person, and that's the way we took it. Find a partner that is your exact opposite, somebody who can do things that you don't know how to do. And that's what I've found with Greg. And Greg's a very easygoing type of person, and I don't know if this would have worked if it was anybody else, because I can kind of be impatient, and I want to get things done and want to do it now, and he's always been that rock kind of in between, and so it's worked out very well. One thing we did when we started our partnership is we had a partnership agreement, and we wanted to lay out all these rules in case anything went wrong.
Okay.
And I think that was one of the best things that we did. We sat down, me and my wife went and sat down with him and his wife, and we got to know each other, and we kind of went through all these scenarios. Okay, what could happen? What are we going to do if this type of things happen? So we did actually get a lawyer. We drafted out this like partnership agreement, and we did kind of we jumped right into it. But if I was going to do a partnership again, I would do a trial partnership if you're looking to get into partnership with somebody else.
And what is that?
Because
What
you
do you
never
mean
know.
by
I
that?
mean,
what is a trial partnership?
I would have something to where you can get out of it, like some sort of contract where
Okay.
after 3 months or 6 months, if it's not working, you can say, hey, let's go our separate ways and take what we both came in with the business, and you never know how it's going to work. It's
almost like a
rainbows
prenup
and
for
sunshine
business.
at first. Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Because things can go wrong and things can
Sure.
go bad, and not everybody always agrees with each other. So you got to have something to fall back on. So that'd be my advice if somebody's looking to get into a partnership with somebody, is to do that trial run.
Got it.
And then secure it later.
What have been some benefits of having a partner? Like what are some things that happen and when you're just like, this is the best, I love this, having a partner was the best thing ever?
Yeah, so celebrating your wins and your losses, always being able to talk to somebody. You know what? If you're a detailed business owner, a lot of times if you're talking to your wife or significant other or some friends, they don't totally understand what's going on in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So having a partner, so they know exactly what you're talking about, and you can talk to them exactly, and you can get feedback because you both know the same thing. and having that partner to fall back on is great. And what's really, I contributed a lot of our Chicago Auto Pro success to our partnership, because Greg runs the front end, sales. He loves numbers and accounting and graphs and everything, so he has just taken that over. And my part was the operations, running the detailing shop, doing these services and everything, and then marketing. So we really bounce off well with each other because we both are doing something that we love to do.
That's incredible.
I don't love doing accounting. I don't love doing numbers. I'm horrible at paying bills.
You said graphs and stuff.
He does all that.
Yeah, you went into graphs, and I'm like, oh, that sounds painful.
Yes, yeah.
People say Excel spreadsheets, really nice. And I'm like, what? Is that Spanish? But I laughed when you said having that kind of partner that you can share stuff with. I was working on a car yesterday, and I was dealing with I was doing a family car, and I was dealing with, it was black paint, and I was going to coat it, and fine, I'll admit it, I wasn't going to do a full correction on it, right? I was just going to kind of one step over it. And so because of multiple factors, right? Everyone listening, don't act like you never. Anyway, whatever. So, I compounded it, and I was dealing with the slightest bit of haze. And my wife was here, and I was telling her, she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm just like dealing with like a little bit of haze in the paint. I'm not sure if I want to like polish that out or if the coating will clear it up, and I don't even know if they'll notice. And they're not really paying that much for it. It's more of a favor, blah blah blah." And I look at her face, and it's glazed over, and I'm like, "You have no idea what I'm talking about, huh?" She's like, "I don't know, and I really don't care." I'm like, right. So I started laughing because when you said like a partner that understands what you're talking about, I'm like, oh man, I could have used one of those yesterday. Just to give me like, do this or don't do that, or you're just seeing that you're not really even seeing haze. So now everyone will know I'm a hack detailer. So
you're doing a great job, honey.
Yeah. She's like, it looks great from 5 feet away. Just don't put a light on it. And then she left, and she's like, good luck pulling it out in the sun. I'm like, so you did understand what I was talking about. You just didn't want to hear it in that moment. So anyway, so you get this business partner, you start a detail shop. Obviously, you're in Chicago now, so you're dealing with some weather. And so you got a fixed location shop, right? So at that point, you're not mobile. Obviously, you were managing the car wash and whatever. Does he leave the chemical business to start Chicago Auto Pros with you?
No, he didn't really think this business would be anything. I mean, he always wanted to jump in, but he wanted more of the car wash side, so this was just kind of his way to dip his toe in. So no, for the first 3 years, I was the secretary, the detailer, the sales manager. I did everything in the business for the first 3 years, and once we got everything up and running, and we could see like, hey, this is working, and you can see a future in it, that's when he jumped in full time. So
wow. And what changed when he jumped in full time? As far as Is that when you guys started ramping up? How long? I guess I should say this. How long ago did he jump in full time?
So we started in 2012. It was 3 years later, so he probably jumped in. It was like 2015, 2016. So what happened? This was kind of a weird situation, and we had our original shop was our original shop was a 2-bay shop connected to a car wash, and we got some dealerships, and we quickly outgrew that within 6 months. So down the street, another one of our clients had this big area. He actually sold cars. So we had a high-end dealership, and in the back of that was this big 4,000-foot square warehouse that he wasn't doing anything with. So we asked him if we could move in, and he said yeah, and it was great and everything. And it was a little odd because he still had somebody working for him and doing his cars, so we kind of had this shared space.
Okay.
And so it was back and forth, and it was just kind of a little, it was awkward and it was tense at some times. And at one point, we thought we were going to be kicked out of that shop. So we started looking for another shop. And that's when we found where our shop is now. We have our second location in Glenview. And at that point, we found the shop and everything, and we were moving forward with it, talking with the real estate guys and everything, and going forward. And while that was going on, we patched everything up with our landlord at the other shop, and we still had this other shop kind of in our hands and ready to go. And it was just kind of like, what do we do here? And that's why we have 2 shops. We were like, well, why don't we just run? There's 2 of us. Why don't we just start running 2 shops? And that's when kind of Greg was coming on board at the same time. So we're like, okay, yeah, let's just jump in and do this.
And wow, that's cool. So did you have one mainly doing like dealership stuff, or is dealership not that big of a part of your business anymore? How does that work?
So a dealership was a big part of when we started, and especially in winter here too, because we needed something to so we can get through the winter. It helped pay the guys so they can work full time. But our plan was always to replace that work with, retail work, better paying work, better margins.
Got it.
So yeah, we had dealer work up to about 2 years ago.
Okay.
We're busy enough to where we didn't have to have that dealer work anymore. So
was that hard?
It definitely was a big part of the business.
Got it. Was that hard to say bye to, or were you tired of it?
For me, it was. For Greg, it was not. Greg understood the numbers better than I did.
Got it.
He's like, this is not making us any money. But for me, it felt like, if the shop's busy, I feel like we're doing all right. We have a bunch of cars in here, and there's lots of stuff going on. So I was like, this is great. We have stuff going on. We're busy.
Yep.
But it wasn't, you weren't making any money off of it.
Right. Busy doesn't mean making money. Got it. And then when did you, I'm really interested to hear this. When did you decide, or what was the deciding factor behind starting a YouTube channel?
So the first video I did was a video with my phone, just an engine detail. It was absolutely horrible. It's funny. I've always kind of wanted to be an actor.
Really?
I've always liked,
Okay.
In this is weird. In elementary school, I'm a pretty shy, reserved type of person, so this is weird. But in elementary school, I signed up for this play, and I did this play, and I was it was probably middle school actually, and I was so embarrassed that I couldn't say my line. I had to say something, and it had aluminum chairs in it. I couldn't say aluminum. I just couldn't say the word.
Right.
And I was so embarrassed that I quit it. And I felt bad that I wasn't able. I was supposed to perform in front of the whole school and everything, and I was just too shy to do it. But I've always wanted to be an actor, and that's kind of where the videos came in.
Interesting.
And I've always been interested in marketing and doing this, and I've always been interested in YouTube videos. And I actually started the YouTube videos. I was planning it for about a year, and I was trying to get up the courage to do it. And honestly, I was just too. I didn't have the confidence to do it, and there came a point in my life where I was just like, I'm shy, I'm reserved, I want to step out, I want to break out of this shell, and kind of YouTube was my way of doing that, and I kind of got to a point where I'm like, I'm sick of just not going out there and pushing myself as far as I can. So I'm like, I'm going to do this. It's going to be uncomfortable. I might be embarrassed. I might, not do a very good job. It might be crap, whatever it is. I'm like, I'm just going to try it. And I had to do it for myself to say, you know what, I can do these things. I can get out of my shell, and I can push myself as far as I can.
And it's been incredible, right? I mean, up until at the time of this recording, you're about to break 60,000 subscribers, so it's been going extremely well, right?
Yeah, it's better than I could ever imagine. It's fun doing it. I enjoy doing it. I took 2 months where I just learned how to do editing and learn how to do that whole thing.
About as painful
and
as
I love it, and it's given me
spreadsheets.
something else to move into.
Right. Okay. And what have been, it's so cool because I feel like you've done a lot of things that other detailers want to do, right? Started mobile, started your own business just in general, right? Mobile shop, whatever. Then you graduated to a shop in a whole different town, which is insane. Got a business partner, which a ton of people want to do. Started a YouTube channel, and it actually is successful, which is something a bunch of detailers want to do. Has there been a reoccurring theme throughout all these things that you can attribute the success to or your success to?
Hard work.
Got it. Just doing the work.
Yeah, it's a little bit at a time. It's a grind. It really is. I mean, if you think you're going to do one video and you're going to take off, that's just not the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be consistent with everything you do. I mean, I literally wake up every single day. I love this business. I love what I do. I'm like, how can I grow this? How can I get more customers? How can I, it's funny. I'm a numbers person. I like numbers. I like looking at numbers. I don't necessarily like putting them into graph form. But I love playing games, and games, whether it's strategy games or computer games or whatever it is, when you're building, I love these games where you build these cities and towns, and you send your farmers
like The
out
Sims. I guess that's old school, but I don't know what the new one is.
Yeah, but I love playing that stuff, and I love looking at the numbers, and I love seeing it grow. So that's what I think about every day when I get up. I'm like, what can I do today to move the needle? Whether it's getting more customers in the shop, whether it's getting more subscribers on YouTube. Literally, every day I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, what can I do now? What can I do now?
Right. And speaking of growing and building and all that, not to kind of jump back to subjects, but a few months back, you built your dream detail shop, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that process. I love that mentality of just like always getting better, always striving, always kind of pushing it, always, keep grinding, all that. So I watched your kind of detail shop progress. I love how you documented the whole thing too. I think that's awesome. But tell us about this dream detail shop.
So the dream detail shop, and it really is awesome. If you get a chance to get up here, you got to see it in person. It's much bigger in person than it is on video, and we hear it all the time.
Wow!
Like, whoa!
Usually that's the opposite.
Do it justice.
Usually, I went to Adam's. Sorry to cut in, but I went to Adam's grand opening. They opened a distribution center with the storefront here in Orange County, and I went there, and I was like, "Oh, this is much smaller than I thought it was going to be." So usually it's the opposite. So that kind of caught me off guard when you're like, "It's bigger in person."
Yeah, it is. It's weird, but there's a lot of room and there's a lot of space. So many activities we can do.
Do you need like a longboard, skateboard to like get through, or a golf cart to get through the whole shop, just so you can check in on everyone?
Yeah, we do have skateboards. We get some shit from our viewers. They're like, you're gonna break something.
Oh
maybe.
Gosh! Like, I'm still waiting for the cordless extension cords.
Yeah. The dream detail shop. It's awesome. We were out of space. The previous summer before we moved into the new shop, we were literally out for 3 to 4 months, and that was the only thing that was holding us back from being able to service all these customers. And that felt like almost throwing the money away, because when you tell a customer, it's going to be 4 months, they're like, well, I'm going to look for somebody else. I'm like, I understand,
Right.
So that's when, we knew we had to get a bigger space. And
can I interrupt you again real quick? Sorry, because I just feel like this is super important. That is a really nice problem to have, too many customers. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys listening or gals listening too that are like, I have 0 customers and this guy has too many customers. What is he doing that I'm not doing? Is there any, obviously you don't have to reveal all your secrets. They should subscribe to your YouTube channel and your podcast for that. But how do you get so many customers? How do you get 4 months booked out? before you, let's go back to I'm feeling like a squirrel today, but let's go back to the Dream Detail Shop. But I just want to know how you get so many customers that, you're booked out 4 months.
Again, it's just consistency.
Okay.
YouTube had a lot to do with it. I mean, if you take anything away from this, anybody who's listening, start a YouTube channel. I mean, I guess it's not for everybody either. I mean, but if you feel comfortable doing it, YouTube has brought us a lot of opportunities, and besides just the Chicago Auto Pros detailing location. I mean, but I'd say about 80% of the people who call or come into our shop are there because of YouTube.
Wow.
Literally.
Okay.
That every single person. I mean, the front office guys just get sick of it. I mean, when people call our shop, they're like, "Hey, is Jason there?" And they know. They're like, "Yeah, he's in the back, he's working, but I'm the office manager. You talk to me."
Got it. At what sub count did that really start to take effect? Because I think a lot of people, and this is great, I think a lot of people think, 60,000 subscribers is a crap ton, right? But I think people see guys with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or at least 100,000, and think like, I need to get to that level before I start seeing success. At what level, and I think this is so cool, at what level did you start to see that flow of customers? Because I'm with you. I freaking tell everyone, record on your phone, be an idiot about it. Well, maybe not an idiot, but be, don't be an idiot, but don't be worried about being like perfect with it, but put content out there and you'll get more customers. So was there like a level, was it 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, where you started to see a huge influx of customers to your shop from YouTube?
Yeah, it was early on. It was probably 4,000 to 5,000. And it took a long time to get to 4,000 to 5,000, and it was tough to get to 4,000 to 5,000. But from 4,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 was, I think 6 months.
Got it.
And then from 10,000 to 30,000 was like another 6 months, and it just, so it's definitely exponential once you start getting those subscribers.
Right.
But yeah, right around 4,000 or 5,000, that's when we started to hear people coming in. Hey, I saw your video. And it really started when we started doing these feature videos. So we took one car and we started with it, and we just, I just be in front of the camera and just tell them what we're doing. And I kind of go through our process and how we do things and show them how we're different from maybe somebody else down the street, whatever. And I took them through the entire process. And it was funny because we did a Camaro early on, 45th anniversary Camaro. And as soon as we put that video out, we had 5 or 6 people with the same Camaro. Hey, I want that done on my car. Did the same thing with the GMC truck, and we've gotten several GMC trucks in just because of that video. They see it and they're like, I need that done on my truck. It's one of those things where people see other people that, well, that guy's got that truck and this is what he did to it, so I need to do the same thing. Power of suggestion.
Yep. I love that, because it's like, that's what I try to tell guys too. Like, just if you don't know where to start with what you're already doing. Like there's a crap ton of videos on there on how to shine a tire and how to clean glass. So maybe don't start there if you don't feel confident in your abilities, right? But just say, hey, I'm just doing a wash and wax on this car today. And as you grow, you'll start to get different cars or different services or whatever. But I love that. It's such practical information of like, just start with what's in front of you and what you got going on. Love that. And it really does. And go ahead. Sorry.
When I started doing those videos, I try to focus on the customer aspect of it too,
Right.
It's easy to do a how-to video, how to clean glass, or do a tire shine video, but that's more dedicated to a detailer, and it's not really dedicated to the customers that you're looking to get into your shop. So, I tried to. That's a big reason why I started the vlogs. It's just I wanted people to know us without having to come in, and that's the biggest thing. People feel like they know us already because of these vlogs, because I just show them what happens in and out every day at our shop. And they come in and they know Will, they know Todd, and they know Rob, they know E-Man, they know all these guys, and they're excited to shake their hands and say hello. And they feel since we try to show them the type of work that we're doing, they come in with that confidence that these guys know what they're doing. I'm so happy my car's in your guys' hands. You guys are going to do a great job. We just get their car. You guys are going to do awesome.
Right.
We are going to do awesome. Thank you.
And does price ever is price ever at the forefront of those conversations with your customers?
No, never.
Thank you.
Never.
Love that. Because again, I mean, you see it like I do. All these Facebook groups, like, oh, another detailer moved into my area, another guy undercutting me, and I'm like, why is that your competition? Like, for a lot of people, price isn't the issue. It's availability or quality of work or whatever. And I think, you know, kind of this theme that we've started to develop or you've talked about with your YouTube channel and all that, like create content about stuff that you're already doing. You become the celebrity detailer or whatever in your market or in the world, or what people want to come to you because they see you, know, like, and trust you. And then they care about the price, but not as much as it's not the first thing they talk about. Maybe not even the second.
I think people would be surprised on how many people are out there that just want a quality job and don't really care about the price. We hear it 100%. All the time. I went to another detail shop and it was a little cheaper, but they just didn't meet my quality standards. And I'm so happy that we found you. I just want it done right. Want it done right. That's what they say.
Yep.
I just want it done right.
Yep. Because
that's it.
Yep. So back to the dream detail shop. I took us off on a tangent, but I want to get back to that.
Yep. Dream detail shop. It's huge. It's 13,500 square feet.
Wow.
You know, we were looking for a building to buy, and the market wasn't a very good market. I mean, we looked for 8 months for something to buy in the area that we wanted. We could barely find something to rent. We looked at a few different places. A lot of them needed way too much money. We literally couldn't find a place with a triple basin in it. So this new place, we had to put the triple basin in. We had to tear up some concrete. And when we moved in, it was just a box. So we got an architect to kind of plan everything out. One of our biggest concerns was how the flow goes. You know, we didn't want to have to move cars around or shuffle them around because we had to do that in our last shop, and it can be very disturbing to the workflow.
Got it.
So we designed everything, and you know, we started building, and it took 3 or 4 months to build out. And like any project, we had a budget going in, and we totally we doubled that budget, which wasn't great. But but we got a great shop, and it's huge, and we built out a clean room, and it's very nice to have a climate-controlled clean room separated from the detail shop. And the guys are much happier working in that environment now too. But the shop's great, man. I love it.
What's your favorite part about the shop? Like when you roll up in the morning, or you know, you get done signing autographs from all your fans before you walk into the shop. Or where do you find yourself? Is it maybe your office there, or at the clean room? Like, where do you find yourself kind of gravitating towards it's your favorite part?
Yeah. So it's nice that I do have an office now. We have like a little office, like 5 of us in this little office. I just like standing when you go out of the kitchen, you open in this big open detailing area, and we have a whole section with the lights, and we have our chemical dispensing system there. And just standing there and seeing all the lights and seeing the doors and everything, it's awesome just standing there and seeing that the guys have this equipment to work with. And they're working in a shop that's well lit, and they got all the right equipment and tools and everything they need to do their job the best that they possibly can. Because I've worked in shops where it's dark and it's dirty, and it's just not a good environment to work in. And you just don't feel
the vibe is off.
Proud of your work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did it help to have your partner who had, I'm assuming, an extensive experience in the car wash side of things with chemicals? It triggered when you said your car wash dispenser or your car wash chemical dispensers. Did the flow of the shop, did he really help influence that? And
absolutely, that was his baby. I mean, that's the chemical dispensing system. You know, I didn't know about it before. I mean, I was a detailer, just with bottles.
Like, I got spray bottles and gallons and stuff.
Yeah, and he came with a car wash background, and he's like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let's try it." And it's funny, you kind of get used to it too. And because I've been washing cars here at my house, and I'm like, this sucks. Just pulling triggers and spraying everything. And I'm like, I missed the dispensing system. You didn't realize how much it actually helps.
Wow.
And another thing, a byproduct, I mean, it's nice to have all these chemicals right at hand and you don't have to mix it. You know, we obviously still have other chemicals other guys have to mix up and everything, but for the most part, these are the most used chemicals that we have. And it just legitimizes our business a little bit too. When people come in, people love coming in, we show them the shop, and to see these things hanging down and they're right there at the detailer's hands, it just adds another level of trust. When that customer comes in, they're like, this is a professional shop.
Right.
It's not dirty, and it's not dingy. It's, you know, it's clean. Everything's clean as possible, and it looks professional. And I think that's a big part of the show, the experience that you're trying to put on for this customer.
Yep. Love that. Yeah. And talk about, I keep going back to price because that's always like the biggest argument detailers want to bring up for some reason, but it's like, think about that. If a detailer goes to your shop, Jason, and they see these chemical dispensing units and lights and clean rooms and nice office and showroom and chemical, all this stuff, all nice and pretty, and then they go to some other guy's shop, which is dark and dingy, and I feel like people can sense the vibe. I feel like we could all sense the vibes of places that we go, right? It's like, do you really think they're going to care if you're even double the price? Probably not, right? Because like you said, they want the work done right the first time, because the more they have to go back and forth and argue with someone, that's inconvenient and annoying, you know? So that's awesome.
And the trust factor is huge too. I mean, they got to trust when they're dropping their car off, when they're dropping their $100,000 car off, they want to make sure that's in a safe, secure spot, and
that too,
they're going to trust the people working on it. Yeah, exactly. And if you go into a shop that's dirty or it's not clean or, you know, it's not well lit, you kind of step back for a minute and you got this thing in your back of your head, and I'm in the right place.
Right. So not only do you still have two shops going then, or when you created your dream detail shop, did you condense everything into one?
Yeah, we just moved our original location to the new shop, so we just have two shops right now.
Got it. So you have two shops, a thriving YouTube channel, a business partner, and that wasn't enough, so you decided to start something else. So tell us about this new endeavor or this new project that you decided to add to your plate.
Yeah, this is something, again, you know, we talked about doing a third shop, and with a third shop, it requires the personnel to be able to run that shop, which has been the most difficult thing in our business, is just finding the right people. So instead of starting a third shop, you know, we thought, you know, why don't we just try to start something that's a little better scalable? And we wanted to do an e-commerce store. So that's what we started. We have an e-commerce online store called Car Guy Supplies.
What's the website?
And we started that, carguysupplies.com. So we started that about 6 months ago, and we've been planning it for a year, and so far everything's going great.
And what was the kind of idea behind it? Why did you want to start that?
It was something that we could put in, you know, because we had some profit last year, and we reinvested a lot of that into the new shop. But what else can we reinvest our money in? And with I don't know anything about e-commerce right now. I know a little more than I did a year ago, but when we started, I knew nothing. So, and I wanted to get into this, and I wanted to do something that was going to be something that we could scale better and that could become a bigger business than even our detail shops, because detail shops are very labor intensive.
Right.
And what can I do that's literally, it was just thinking, what can I wanted to find an easier way to make money. That's it. I'm like, is this, and I don't know if it is or not yet. It's been a lot of work so far, but that was my thinking behind it. What can I do that's going to make money a little easier for myself, and something that I can grow, and maybe something I could, start where I can kind of start to not work as hard, and I can kind of step back a little bit where I can just leave it and build something that'll just kind of run on its own. And that's why kind of Car Guy Supplies is here.
And obviously you're early on in it. You said 6 months or less or whatever, but is it showing signs of being going to be is it less work yet or not yet?
It is. I mean, so setting up everything, the website, of course, you have to put every single product in. You got to weigh all the products, take pictures, write a description, and then figure out an inventory system and all that. It's been a lot of work in the beginning, but once you get all that stuff set up and done, I hired another guy to kind of help me out. And it's not as much work as it was right in the beginning, but everything's going well, man. Every single month, we're getting new people, and that's been the hardest part, is just getting the word out there that we have this website, and cash flow is a big issue when you're doing a website or selling products like this, because we keep everything in inventory. So building that inventory as large as we can, we're reinvesting everything that we're making right now. So that's been the biggest issue. I mean, I have a lot of products out there that I want to bring into the store, and there's only so much cash that I have right now to be able to, buy inventory. So,
and does the YouTube channel help promote the Car Guy Supplies? Like, have you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how have you seen your detailing business kind of succeed because of but a big boost from your YouTube channel? Are you seeing the same with Car Guy Supplies?
Yeah, it feeds it a lot. I mean, that's where, if you look at the numbers, I think it's a very, very high percentage of our customers are coming from social media, YouTube.
And what products are on the Car Guy Supplies? So for someone listening, why would they go there versus somewhere else, I guess?
Yeah, so we started with the products that we use in our shop, first of all, a lot of G-Technic and Optimum, and a lot of those products. We actually brought a product over from the UK, AM Details.
Yeah, had him on the podcast, Alan.
Yeah, Alan's awesome, dude. I've been watching his YouTube vlogs for a couple of years now.
Yep.
And we started talking on the phone one day, and he's like, I didn't even know his products weren't in America. I'm like, dude, you want somebody to sell them for you? I'm like, I can do it. That's kind of where he kind of kicked me in the ass to get Car Guy Supplies going. I'm like, I'll bring them over, man. I'll sell them for you. So we brought those products over here, and they're a little higher price than I anticipated right now, just because the shipping is so much,
right?
From UK. So we're trying to find ways to get shipping a little cheaper, so we can bring that price down on those products a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, we have. I mean, we have McGuire's coming. I just made a big McGuire's order, so that'll be here in a couple weeks. I'm trying to bring on as many products that I like. I try to test as many products as I can. Most of the products that we have right now, I've all used. We got Red Company towels, we got Lake Country Manufacturing pads, and a little bit of tools. We just put on some IR lamps, and we got some vapor steamers. So I'm just trying to get as much stuff on there as possible.
Yep. Nice. So it's going to be like an awesome store for everything that you need for detailing stuff. And
yeah,
and you just rolled.
I didn't realize how many.
Sorry.
I didn't realize how many products were actually out there. Going through everything, and now we got a lot of people sending me information about these different products. I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of products out there.
But that's kind of why I think that's why a website like that is needed, though, right? Because think about it, someone is thinking about or looking for products, and there's all these products out there, and Amazon doesn't help with all these products, and you're trying to read through these reviews on Amazon that may be legit, might not be legit.
Yeah.
You don't really know. It's like, I think that's where a website like the Car Guy Supplies really comes in handy, because you've done the legwork and the hard work of kind of honing down what products are actually worth it and good, instead of this open abyss of just a massive unknown, right? Where you could just spend ungodly amounts of money trying products that just kind of suck, So I think that's why a website like that is so needed, and sure, there's other online retailers and stuff like that, but then they don't have the presence with the YouTube and all that, and you're like, who owns this? Who is it? Can they even be trusted? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love
I
that
think we have a little bit of leg up, that I am a detailer, and I do, I want to carry products that I recommend. There's so many products out there, and it's hard to try them all too.
Sure.
So I do try to try all the products. But some products might work for one person and might not even work for another one. So I do
Sure.
want to carry a variety of everything. Just because I don't necessarily like a certain product for a certain reason doesn't mean somebody else might not like it, So,
Right.
and there's products for all types of people and all types of jobs depending on what you're trying to do. So, I want to carry a big variety that, people can choose from.
Right. And so not only that, have you narrowed down kind of the products you use, but then you also created this thing called Car Guy Credit. So for those of
Guy
us
Credit,
that
yeah.
like to buy a ton of products, can you tell us about what Car Guy Credit is and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Car Guy Credit is a program that I started, and basically it's a loyalty program that's going to get you up to 50% back as store credit. So we have different levels, and the more you spend in the calendar year, the better percentages that you're going to have in credit back. So there's no sign-ups, there's no monthly fees. You're not going to have to wait for a sale. I mean, I just literally just wanted to make it as simple as possible. We had a point system before that we had this, and I just feel like it was a little gimmicky. You had to sign up for the points program to earn them, and then you can trade for gift cards or percentages off or like free shipping or whatever. But if you're not really paying attention to that program, you can kind of lose out on your points and you don't really know they're there. So I just wanted something more straightforward. So with the credit back program, that's what you get. I mean, everything's automatic. There's no special signups. When you order, you get the credit back into your account. So next time you order, it's right there for you to use. And I just wanted to make it simple and easy as possible. And it's definitely targeted towards people who buy more detailing products or detailing business. So it's a great way to save money if you are a detailing business or if you sell products out of your lobby. Literally
Right.
the top level there, you're going to get up to 50% credit back. So there's a lot of savings there.
That's awesome. And it's free. Basically, you just have to buy something from the site to get started, right? Don't really have to.
Yeah, it's automatic. From the very beginning, you're going to start level one is 2% credit back.
Right.
And all the way up. The top level, if you spend over $2,500 a year, you're going to be getting up to 50%. And depending on you can go to the website and you can download a whole list of all the products that I have in different percentages.
So there's a product.
It's all right there.
Right. There's a product by product credit back guide. Wow,
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Dang.
And again, this is new too, something that we're just trying out, so we might adjust it here or a little bit there, but
Sure.
I think it's going to be a great way for a lot of people to save money. And the biggest part of it, I just wanted it to be simple and straightforward. No monthly fees, none of that. Just come and there's no sales. I will have sales eventually, but for this top tier program,
Sure.
you're not going to have to worry about sales. You're going to get the best price possible.
Why do I have a feeling? So I just opened up the product by product guide. I have a feeling you didn't create that. Maybe your business partner. You did? You did it? It's a lot of numbers.
Well,
and that's a big spreadsheet. By not you, I meant like probably your business partner.
Well, this is so my business partner is involved in this business, but I actually had to go through and I have everything in Shopify where I can download everything
got
into
it. The CSV file
to an Excel file.
Okay.
But then I had to go through and every single product I had to go through and put a percentage on. So it was just a massive undertaking. And since I know most of the products, it just made sense for me to do it. And then I had my other guy. My other guy actually made that one that you're looking at, but it's just a mirror image of the back end one that I have.
Yeah, I know it's branded real nice, but I'm like going through this. I'm like, holy crap, this is a lot of numbers and a lot of letters.
Yeah, I worked from home that week.
Yeah,
no distractions. Just
it looks painful, but it's cool. I mean, it's a great resource for everyone that you could. There's like no gimmicks. There's no hiding. It's all right there for you. So
yeah,
I think we nailed it, man. Is there anything that I didn't ask or that you wanted to make sure you got across, or anything you want to talk about before we kind of wrap up this episode?
Yeah, there's one thing actually. There's a lot of guys out there, influencers and everything, doing affiliate links. You probably do this yourself. You work with like Amazon affiliate links.
Yep.
Another program that I have with Car Guy Supplies is I also have my own affiliate links. So I know that Amazon pays like 4.5% if you're tagging anything, if you're doing YouTube videos or you're doing anything, even if you have a site. I had this idea of, if you have a detailing business and you have a website, why not sell some products out there? It's easy to make a separate page and just as it says shop. And then you have all your maintenance products. If you're doing this detailing, your customers want these detailing products. So if you made a separate page, and I have an affiliate link program, and I pay 8%. So
Okay.
it'll make you a couple $100, maybe $400 or $500 a month. And it's easy for you to do because you won't have to store any of these products. And it's literally, you just make a page, put the pictures there, a little description, and you can have a link that goes right to Car Guy Supplies, and they can buy the products. And then once they click that link and they purchase something, you get 8%. It goes right to your PayPal account. So that's another program that I'm putting in if anybody's interested out there.
And that could be a great way for a lot of detailers that don't want to take on the burden of stocking, buying, trying to get wholesale accounts from these distributors who really don't want to sell to you because you're too small. Just you're basically drop shipping for them, and they're making 8%, which is, guys, good margin, right? Jason, good margin for not having to stock it and be out to cash and all that. So that's a really good little side hustle that a lot of detailers could use. They should link it in their YouTube videos on the channel they start to drive more customers to their page, to their business.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that, man. So, all right, give us how people can find you on social, how they can subscribe to your channel, how they can sign up for that affiliate link, kind of all the ways they can get in contact with you or Chicago Auto Pros.
Absolutely. Yeah. YouTube, Chicago Auto Pros, subscribe, hit that bell. We also got a separate Car Guy Supplies YouTube channel that we're going, and Car Guy Supplies is going to be more how-to type of stuff. So if you're into the more how-to and how to do things and product reviews, go over to Car Guy Supplies, hit subscribe over there. Again, if you want to get a hold of me directly, the easiest way is jason@chicagoautopros.com. I'm always looking at my email, easiest way. It's hard for me to do Facebook messages, Instagram messages, because I have other people who do social media marketing for us, so it's hard for me to get those messages.
Awesome, man. We nailed it. Thanks again for taking the time. I know you have like a million other things that you could be doing. Thanks for taking an hour or so to come on the podcast.
Killer, man. Thanks, Jimbo. Appreciate it.